Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Shadowstitch Plays, and today we're going to have just a little discussion about my first impressions of the new character, Aegislash. So yeah, I think right off the bat, first off, the character is very fun to play, and that cannot be understated. Like, a character has to be enjoyable to be worth your time, your money, and everything like that. And I think that this character absolutely knocks it out of the park. So that seems very cool off the bat. Immediately though, he does not seem very OP, and that is awesome. Like, we have had very recently some very powerful characters that come out just like overpowered right off the bat. Think of like Dragonite, think of Serena. We did get a little bit of a break with Trevenant. He did not seem that amazing, and he still doesn't seem that crazy good. But yeah, Aegislash seems very just well balanced, and just, you know, overall just a strong character, but not like insane. And that is just really nice. Like, we don't always need to have like this big meta shake whenever a new character comes out. Like, we can just have like a really strong character that, you know, seems, you know, good, but not wildly overpowered. And I feel like that's exactly what we're getting with Aegislash right here, and that's very cool. So right off the bat, he does not seem very OP, but could that change whenever we see, whenever we figure it out? Very similar to like a Dragonite situation. I personally don't think so, but we'll see how it goes. So, first, you know, everybody's here to ask, is he worth the coins? I think so. I think that he is very well worth your money, or your 10,000 coins. The character is 10,000 coins, so just keep that in mind. He is on that expensive end, but yeah, so is he worth it? I think so. I think so for sure, but you know, it's up to you. I do think that you should probably be picking up characters like Lucario, or, you know, those meta staples like, you know, Wigglytuff, Eldegoss, if you play those roles and you don't have those characters already for some reason. But other than that, I think that he is definitely well worth your coins if you have those characters already. I would certainly pick him up over something like a Garchomp or a Gengar or something like that, because, you know, he just feels very good in my opinion. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. So, I would say he's likely not an amazing solo queue character. We were playing him in like a 3-stack with me and my friends James and Emil, and that seemed like that worked out really well. We'll have to see, you know, how well he can perform on a 5-stack. But you know, in a 3-stack, I think that worked out incredibly well. It worked out really good, and I feel like that's kind of where, you know, he can thrive, and you know, with some competent backup, but you know, still having a little bit of that random factor from, you know, the other teammates is okay as well. But yeah, the character seems not like super team reliant, but he's not gonna be, you know, carrying a game 1v9 in my opinion. That's just not what this character seems like to me. So, you know, if that's what you're wanting from a character, it's probably not gonna happen with this guy. But, you know, if you're playing some duos, playing some trios, then yeah, I definitely think that you know, that's kind of where the character can shine, and we shall see about the 5-stacks, if you know, when we get the team together. So that seems pretty cool to be seen on the 5-stacks, but I definitely think a very strong character for like a duo trio kind of situation. So as for where I would put him, he does seem pretty weak in lane. His passive, or his ability, whatever you want to call it, while he's a Honedge or Doublade, is basically says I take, you know, extra damage from attacks, which is just, you know, kind of funny. Because like, you just take so much damage, so much extra damage from attacks in that early game, and yeah, that's not great for a laner to have. So I think that he is a phenomenal jungler, as if we needed more of those in this game. um, but yeah, I think that's really cool because he is a level 7 evolution. That means that he's gonna get it online very quickly, and that's, you know, very cool because you're basically guaranteed to be a level 7 Pokemon by the first Dreadnought, and if you have a good laning phase, you're going to be a very good character at level 9, and that is just even better. You know, that's really cool. So I think that he's a phenomenal jungler, but a little bit weak in lane, in my opinion, unless you have like a very competent teammate with you. Maybe we could pair him with an Eldegoss. Everybody's better with an Eldegoss, right? So, but we shall see as that goes. This does seem like it doesn't seem like a very good like pick up and play kind of character. His kit has a ton of nuance to it, and that, you know, provides a lot of skill expression. So if you're not really into those kind of characters, think of like maybe like Gardevoir or something like that. You know, she has a lot of skill expression in her kits, and that seems pretty cool. But you know, I personally love those kind of characters. But you know, if you're not really into that and don't really have the time to invest into a character that will take a good amount of time and games to practice out and figure him out, then maybe pass on this one. But you know, it's what I like, so that's pretty cool. So, but yeah, that's that. So, he does seem to thrive a lot more in like those little smaller skirmishes, as opposed to like the big team fights. So that's pretty cool. Like those 2v3s, those 2v2s, you know, those kind of situations where you'll, you know, find yourself diving a tower or something like that. You know, he really thrives in those, and I think that that's, you know, just what's very cool. After about 2 hours of playing with him, you know, shoutouts to me somehow getting 100% games on Aegislash in my entire stream. So I'm no expert here. Don't take my word as law or anything, but I've kind of figured out some of his quirks and of his playstyle, and it's very weird because it seems a little bit antithetical to what you would expect. Because you would expect, like, you go in there and you just start shredding people just left and right and just going boom, 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 boom. But, you know, it doesn't really actually end up playing out like that. I've found a lot more success where I engage with my sword ability, like my Sacred Sword or Shadow Claw ability, and I build up my stacks of my boosted attack, and then I immediately switch into shield form, and I use those boosted stacks while in shield form. In shield form, you get these like little mini stuns, and you get like some you know, life steal or sustain while you're doing that, and that's really cool. It's really disruptive, and it keeps you alive because you're taking less damage, you're healing up, and like you're just around longer in those fights. And then all that little disruption and stuff like that, you know, that means that your team is, you know, doing lots of damage and stuff like that to them, and that's really cool, because then you can switch back into sword form when your cooldowns come offline, and then you can start just shredding people as they're getting low. So you want to do your best to stick around as long as possible, and starting a fight in the shield stance, as opposed to going in guns blazing with your sword stance, seems like the way to go. I haven't watched a whole lot yet. Obviously the character just came out, but you know, every time I'm seeing like somebody just run in there, and I was doing this too, just like, you know, guns blazing with the shield form, I just kind of like die instantly. But you know, switch into this more defensive, you know, relaxed playstyle, and then, you know, playing a little bit more like a tanky character at first, and then switching, it seems very, very cool. And like I think that is just scratching the surface of what the character can do, and like the skill expression that he brings to the table, and that's just awesome for me. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. As for the build that I've been kind of gravitating toward is Iron Head and Sacred Sword. Iron Head is a cool little defensive ability. It gives you like a little bit of a dash, and lets you build stacks like while you're moving and stuff, which is nice. And then Sacred Sword can build multiple stacks depending on how many people you hit. So to me, it just feels like it brings out the character's strengths and what he's best at. So that seems like, just to me, what's good about the character. So the Unite move is incredibly narrow. It's not easy to land, especially on like moving targets, but so I've kind of like found it more as like a very good like objective secure / objective steal option. So if you're looking for a character that wants a super high impact Unite move, he's probably not it. It does do a ton of damage though, so that's very cool, but like it's very narrow, and it doesn't actually reach as far as you think it would. I don't know. It's very weird. It's a very weird Unite move. But yeah, but it is what it is, and it's probably one of the weaker points of the character. But every character's got to have a weakness somewhere, right? So for items, I've kind of been landing on like a standard like muscle band, focus band, buddy barrier kind of build. The character's whole thing is like just basic attacks on top of basic attacks. You get the boosted damage from your extra basic attacks, which is cool. Yeah, that's just nice. And the focus band keeps you alive in those early fights. Your buddy bear kind of does the same in those later fights. So I don't know. I know that there's probably more options. I did try out a couple different things. I tried out a stacking build. It was kind of terrible, not gonna lie. I tried out like a double offensive item with like Razor Claw. That felt pretty good. I tried out Scope Lens. That also felt pretty good because you do get a lot of crits. I don't know the exact mechanics of this character, but I know that he gets a decent amount of crits, and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But that's just scratching the surface. Again, like this is only 2 hours of playing with this character, so there's a lot more things. I'm just telling you guys what I've gravitated towards, yeah, it seems pretty cool. But overall, I think the character is very strong, but not like incredibly overpowered, and that's kind of like what I really like to see from characters in like games like these. Like we don't always, like I said, need a like big meta shaker and mover every single time like something we get a new character. So yeah, like I think that he's worth your time, worth your money. If you want to put in the time and effort for him, it's definitely worth it. But it's gonna take a little bit of time for you to get used to, in my opinion. But yeah. But anyway, that's gonna be about it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, we look forward to a starter guide sometime this weekend for Aegislash. And I know I didn't do one for Trevenant, but yeah, Trevenant just did not really appeal to me. So there's that. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Like, comment, sub, all that fun stuff. I love you all. Deuces.